Hello and welcome to Piano Shack with me, Woody. In this video, I would like to do a full review of this Boss RC-1, which I bought with some trepidation because I've previously reviewed this, the Boss RC-202, and I was very disappointed with the sound quality. So let's see if this is any better. This then is the cheapest model in Boss's current lineup. RC-1 coming in at about $100 and it was released in 2014, so kind of long in the tooth but still hasn't been replaced and probably no good reason to either. The build quality is absolutely solid, totally made of metal with a big rubber pad on the bottom and yeah, feels pretty much indestructible like all Boss effects pedals. This one is designed really to be put on the floor and stomped on this big flap of a switch here, which is actually a flap. It's a hinged lid that kind of just presses down on a micro switch that's underneath. The advantage is very comfortable to press this flap with your feet if you have it on the floor with shoes or even bare feet or socks if that's something that you're into. Some players say that this type of switch as opposed to this type of switch makes it a little bit more difficult to time exactly the start and end points of your loops. And I get that, I agree. You see, you don't actually have any direct contact with the switch. This is just a plate pressing on a switch underneath. Unusually for a budget looper pedal, this one is stereo as well. So perfect for synths like this or stereo guitar effects. You have the inputs on the left unusually and the outputs on the right, on the side of the pedal. It runs on batteries at 9 volts. The battery is underneath the lid. You have to open it up with the screw there and then it's easy to change the battery. You can use the external Boss power supply as well, but those are kind of expensive, $30 or $40 and not included with the pedal. To power it on, all you need to do is insert a jack plug into the output. And it fires up with a little check LED at the top. We also have an external foot switch input to connect pedals or foot switch pedals like this, a dual pedal which extends the functionality of this in some pretty cool ways. More about that later. And if I start it recording, you have a beautiful 24 segment LED ring here, which indicates where you are in the loop position and what the pedal is currently doing, if it's playing back, overdubbing or recording. As mentioned earlier, we also have a little LED at the top called check, and I'm not really sure what the point in that is since the big LED ring tells you everything you need to know. And you get this nice big rubber base so that it definitely doesn't slide around when you put it on your desk or on the floor. The first thing to note if you're new to looper pedals is that they record audio data, not MIDI, so you connect the pedal to the output of your synth, guitar, keyboard or whatever. This pedal can only record one single phrase at a time, no way to store it, back it up or transfer it to the PC as you get on some of these other pedals. So you record one phrase and then you can do unlimited overdubs over that phrase to build up an interesting composition. The maximum recording time of your loop is 12 minutes, which I think is ample because most people's loops tend to be more like 12 seconds. From what I gather, this is a 16-bit 44.1 kilohertz recording quality, which is CD quality. And actually in my testing, I found that to be pretty much good enough, although the competition has 24-bit recording, and some of these are even like 32-bit recording. And what that means is that you basically get a cleaner recording with better signal to noise ratio and more resolution of your recording as well. But more importantly actually is the quality of the analog to digital converters, because if they are creating a lot of hiss, hum and background noise, then all that 48 bits or 32 bits or 24 bits will do for you is get you better quality recordings of all the background noise. This pedal is obviously a one button design, so you have one switch to do all of the features, and that means you sometimes have to learn how to do a double press or a long press to accomplish additional features. That's where the additional pedal comes in. So you can basically extend the pedal and everything is just one press, which makes it easier to operate. We have a single knob on this pedal. It's very basic, which I like, and that controls the level of your recorded loop, so you can mix it with the level of your input, in this case a synthesizer. So like nearly all looper pedals, the way it works is that you press it once to start recording your loop, press it again to go directly into playback of the loop that you just recorded. Press it once more and you're into overdub mode, now indicated by red and green LEDs together. Press it again to stop recording and now you're back into playback mode again. And you can go into overdub and playback as many times as you want. I'll give you a demo of this in a minute, but if you want to undo your last overdub, just do a long press for a second or two and it's gone. And if you want to bring it back again, do another long press for a second or two and your last overdub will be back again. To stop the pedal or to stop the loop, double click. You see what I mean about the double clicks, the long presses and so on. And if you want to clear what you've just done, you can easily do that by holding down for a couple of seconds. And it's gone. The ability to remove your last overdub and then put it back again is a real nice feature actually for building up an interesting performance. And at all times, the LED ring shows you exactly where you are in the loop, as I'll demonstrate now. Don't judge me on my loop, by the way, it's pretty crap. A nice hidden feature that you'll have to read the manual for is that by powering it on when you hold the pedal down, you can get into a special configuration mode that allows you to do, amongst other things, change the order of the record, playback, overdub. Some more advanced looper guys and girls like to change that order to record, overdub, play. But you can do that by entering this special mode and then doing special button presses. You can also change how the displays work, but that's something I haven't experimented with because I'm quite happy with the default factory settings, but good to know if you want to customize this, just go and check the manual to figure out how to do that. Okay, remember I said that this one is not going to be a keeper because of the sound quality. What I mean is it had a lot of hiss, hum and background noise from, I think, the microphone preamp. Now this one doesn't have a microphone preamp. It's line inputs only, presumably guitar pedal input levels as well. So does it have the same background noise issues? Well, I'm happy to report that this one is super clean. I can't hear any background noises and it's not interfering or ruining the sounds of any synthesizers or keyboards that I connect up to this. So although it's only 16-bit 44 CD quality, the quality of the converters, which is even more important, is really good, and I'm totally happy with the sound quality of this. I love the simplicity of this pedal, just one button, one LED indicator and the volume knob, which I pretty much leave set to 12. It won't take you long to figure out what all the different button presses do, but of course you will need to practice quite a lot on your timing and actually putting together the loops so you get decent performances. Something that I'm still working on, but the pedal is a joy to use, real simple and easy, perfect for beginners. And as mentioned before, the build quality is absolutely superb. So for the cons then, I haven't done any specific tests, but I do read that the battery lifetime is not particularly great on this looper, or any looper for that matter, and it runs on 9-volt batteries, just like most guitar effects pedals. I wish it would run on AA's because I have plenty of rechargeable AA batteries. You can connect the external power supply, but you'll need the Boss one, which is about $30 or $40, so a third of the price of the pedal. But I think it's worth getting the Boss pedal because it is exceptional quality. I have some rip-off 9-volt power adapters as well, but they're not the same quality as this. You get a nice long thick lead, and even this big block in the middle is like a isolator to prevent hum and noise coming from the mains power signal into the pedal. So I actually recommend forking out for the official Boss power adapter. Oh, and then you can use it as well with all of your other pedals as well. And even pedals from other brands will run on the same Boss adapter. It doesn't have USB, so there's no way for you to update the firmware, and there's no way for you to transfer loops to and from the computer. One nice use of loopers is to transfer backing tracks and drum loops from the computer over to the pedal and jam along with them, but you can't do that here. Although I suppose you could also connect it to your computer via audio and just record the loop, which is something I do from time to time. One thing that bugs me a little bit is that the jacks are wonky. I wonder if I can connect these two together. They're not actually perfectly lined up, just slightly off, but it just bugs me a little bit that they are skew-if, but perhaps that's more of a reflection on me than the pedal. But yeah, a little bit of a poor quality control there, perhaps. It's great you can extend the pedal with an external foot switches to get more buttons, and that way you don't need to remember and use all of these tricky long presses and double presses. Compared to the competition, 16-bit recording is not great. The competition are on 24, and even Boss's other products are on 32 bits now. But in practice, I didn't find that to be an issue. I checked the price in the US music stores. This one comes in at $100, which I think is fantastic value for money. Having something that just works so well, gets the job done, and in such a premium feeling build quality, I think is absolutely fantastic for the money. Especially good value since it offers stereo ins and outs, which is really vital if you're looping synths or connecting it to your mixer desk or perhaps your PC audio interface. This one, because of its simplicity and it just gets the job done, is perfect for beginners, but I think even more advanced loopers will appreciate the simplicity and ease of use of a pedal like this compared to something like this. So get a huge thumbs up from me, highly recommended. If you haven't tested out a loop pedal with your keyboards or synths, I know most people tend to use them with guitars, but works also perfectly with guitars or synths, then perhaps something you want to check out. It costs a lot of money to run this channel with all of these purchases, and it takes a lot of time for me to produce these videos. All I ask in return is that you subscribe to the channel, and thanks if you already have. I'll see you next time with reviews of all of these and lots of other fun stuff. Until then, thanks for watching. See you next time. Cheerio.